it is the reading that not only expands knowledge, but also contributes to these factors. Listening, you've got to listen, and you've got to make notes, writing, and you have to speak out what you have read. Two, why I joined Meraki. Number one, I shifted my residence closer to this place, point number one. Two earlier meetings when I came, two features, I don't find any other club in Chennai or around Chennai they have. One is called the master evaluation. There are speech evaluators. The person listens to these evaluations, comes up with master evaluation. And number two, every meeting we enjoy the celebration of management book review. When you decide to clap, clap properly. All so we have a wonderful person in the name of MBR Sateesh, an electrical engineer, quality and safety director of wind turbine company. 2011 he entered Toastmasters and past president of Medley and Meraki, twice division winner in evaluation contest and council of Medley Gallop Club. One feature I noted in this Toastmaster is that he is a multifunctional, multitasking. To the AC, to the screen, going here, coming here, and distributing, which I have not seen as Toastmasters. So probably become a pivot of Meraki Toastmasters. Shall we listen to his review?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, and good morning to the Meraki's guest, esteemed keynote speaker.
Good morning.
So let's assume this, two doctors examining the same patient and gives completely a different treatment. Heard about it, right? And also the two interviewers are interviewing the same candidate and giving a different feedbacks, and two managers are evaluating the performance of the same individual, and they call it a different result. So we call this bias, right? Perhaps this author of this book called Noise, a Flaw in Human Judgment, he says, is done by Daniel Kahneman, and he says it is about noise. It's not bias, noise. So bias is something will take us either to yes or no, but noise is something will not take us anywhere. So it says like, most of us are familiar with the word bias, but noise is something new. The author says that we need to assess them certain times in our life, in our Toastmasters, or even in the office, in business as well. So noise is something, unwanted variability in judgment that should be ideally identical, but it is not. So in simple words, when we receive different decisions from different people, or even the same person at different times, that is called noise. So let's take an example. I work for a wind turbine company, as the introduction says. I say there is a problem happening in one of my component, the blade manufacturing facility here in Trichy. So there is a fault coming, and I'm calling somebody, a quality manager, to say, assess this. He says it's a biggest problem in the entire factory. The production has to be stopped today. Let's take, I'll call the other manager who comes and says, it is not a big problem. Let's move ahead. The third person comes and says, I want more data to decide. So this is the feature, the same fact, but different decisions, that is called noise. So one of the powerful example what author has mentioned in this book, how this noise phenomena is there in the market goes to the insurance underwriting. So they say the same issue, the insurance underwriting companies comes and do that. It is, you don't think it is about difference of 1%, 2%. There are examples where it won even the 30-40% of differences on the claim amount what they got it. So the author called this as the effort for the individuals or organization, because he says in a year there are millions and millions money is lost, people are lost, talents are lost because of this audit. He says we must do the audit of this noise. That's how we are going to find out how it helps us. So our decisions are not influenced just by the facts. It is influenced by the mood, the situation. The same person in the morning and evening, I have been to multiple meetings, the same person cuddle up with us in terms of, not literally I say, so in terms of the voice they use and everything, but the same person fires in the end of the evening. So it is not because of the bias, it's because of the noise. The idea is to, you should assess the noise and find out. So he calls something called noise audit. There is an annexure available where we can find out, there is a checklist given, how do you assess them and go for it. So let's talk about now this, we have reviewed so much about the noise and what are we going to do with this and what is the learning from this. So there are simple 4 learnings. He says, how can we control this noise? So the number 1 is the important decisions. Whenever we are going to make an important decision, we need to make a structured approach. Say if you are going to hire a candidate for a quality manager, so it's familiar for me. So have a clear-cut requirements, competencies, experiences. Also there is a checkpoint which you can write and find out whether they are qualified or not, rather than doing a random interview. Number 1, which is about important decisions, use structured approach. Number 2, use individual or independent judgment before go for a group discussion. We heard about this herd mentality, right? I have been part of umpteen meetings where we go for a meeting, a few people who picks up something, not necessarily they should be the head of the organization. Even somebody in the middle management or even the entry level people, they say something, people want to feel good about it and they just follow through it. So author says you make an independent judgment as the first point, bring the comparison, then come to a common conclusion that will help us to avoid this noise. The third one is trust the process more than the intuition for the decision making. We all say gut feeling makes us a big person, it is I take this decision. It can be on random cases but not on every cases. So make the critical decision making through the trusting the process, not through intuition. In the sense, if you want to make some kind of decision or some kind of we call it as a root cause analysis, we'll come to technical part of it. Make the process clear, define what you're supposed to do, then go for it, rather than deciding by the intuition. The fourth and final one, it's called noise audit. It is very simple. You can pick up a simple case or a different case and find out the different people, do they take the same decision? Give it to them on a different timing of the day, different month of the year, because it is not a one-day overnight program where you just go and do an audit and come back with different results. So do a noise audit. There are a lot of attachments available where we can pick it up and do the noise audit and find out how the behavior is happening. Overall, if I have to say the noise as stated by the author, how do you compare with the bias? So bias is something which will be based on the person to person or a case to case. It might take us to a one direct yes or one direct wrong, but noise is something will not take us anywhere. So using these inputs of 1, 2, 3, 4 learning, there are umpteen learnings are given. I just picked up this top 4. I'm sure that we can find out that noise can be identified and it can be controlled and we can use it for the better purpose of our requirement. Over to you, Kusma.
It's a useful noise. Useful noise, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I want to say. A wonderful insight. Because normally in communication domain, noise has a negative connotation. It's called distraction. But in another angle also, in fact, in my communication, we used to say voice, noise, voice, choice, rejoice. Voice is the posture, voice is the voice modulation, noise is the ability to reach the audience even if it is a bigger hall, and choice is the vocabulary and the framing of sentences. When all these 4 factors combine, then you rejoice the celebration of speech.
You want to clap that?
This is a game to pause. Right? A new blood infusion, entry, new thought, new perception, all these contribute to the furtherance of any movement. Particularly, it gets applied significantly to a Toastmaster Club. And we have, with this 6-monthly meeting, then we have 2 installations, or new member induction, or if it is a club like Meraki, we do it. So it's now to see our new member induction to be done by our BPM membership, TM Narasimharaju, IT director with 20 years in information technology, a certified master, health coach, author of a book on recovery. In fact, whenever probably as I've seen, Darth of Hand, this person comes up for management book review. Almost he will do 2 or 3 in succession. So he has a book, Recover or Reverse, nice title. A reader, volleyballer. He loves filter coffee, but filter coffee seems to love him more. Let's invite Toastmaster Narasimha.
Thank you so much.